Hi, guys. How are you? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me because we are chatting on the fly today. Let me get some earbuds in. Okay. Hey, Mama Jessie J, Ginger. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh my gosh. It has been so crazy this week, and you can see I'm a mess. I am babysitting. So we have a special guest, Mr. Ollie. No, don't pull it. So, any of you guys with littles around will completely understand that, we just roll with it and do the best that we can while we've got them. So I just haven't been on here in a minute, and I really, really wanted to come on and connect with everyone because it has been a minute, and I wanted to talk about how to kind of pick up when you're stuck. And we had a little technical issue, so I had to move to a different area. So I'm not set up super well. But let me know in the comments below if it's zone cleaning that you're stuck on. Is it just getting the daily home, the daily focus or the home blessing hour? Where is it you're stuck? Or is it the decluttering? Because I have hit a wall when it comes to my zone cleaning here lately because life just keeps getting in the way. And I think that that's what everybody has been talking about is just how hard it is to stick to things when life gets busy. So can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up or a like and let me know if you can hear me, okay? I'm solo today. I normally try to have someone with me so that things go a little smoother and they can kind of pick things up. But it is what it is. I don't have a microphone, so I'm hoping that the laptop you can hear me and that the TV is not too loud because we've got Blimpy on the TV to keep the little one happy. So when you're overwhelmed, when life is getting crazy, when things just get out of sync, my number one go-to is just settle down and then go do the basics. And for me, you guys know my basics are shining my sink and getting all those dishes at least in the dishwasher and then making my bed. Those two things give me at least a little leverage that then I can sit down and go, okay, what's the next most important thing? Because if those things are done, the house doesn't look as bad. I feel like I've gotten something accomplished, right? And then I can think about things. So this week on Monday, I did my weekly home blessing hour kind of out of sync. I did some of it on Sunday and some of it on Monday. So Monday, I really deep dived on some zone cleaning, and it was things that I typically skip, right? So typically, like I will start with the cobwebs, but I just never thought about washing the walls. I would dust them. And I washed them, and guys, it was so nasty. I was horrified, and I was thinking about you guys the whole time. Like, you're never going to believe how filthy things had really gotten. And I clean every week. And I don't think I'm perfect, but I thought I was better than that. But it really had piled up. But you got to remember, this is an older house. I wasn't the one that moved us in, so it never got a deep cleaning, and I don't know if it ever had. Like, I have no idea. But those baseboards and the baseboards and the walls, especially in our laundry room, just were filthy, and I had to pour the bucket out like 3 or 4 times. And this is something that I thought wasn't that bad, and it really, really was. And so it just reinvigorated me to get on some kind of a zone cleaning plan more consistently than I have. My philosophy is not fly ladies. I don't hit it every single day. Life happens. I still have family at home. I have kids at home. I've got a little one that I take care of. So when things like that happen, you just live in your season. Like, don't beat yourself up and think that you should be zone cleaning at 15 minutes every single day. And if you don't, like, you're a failure. That's the goal. We have a goal to do these things, but the bottom line is that we are a mom. We're not a maid. We have to be present for our husband and for our kids and for the family and for work and all these other responsibilities. And so zone cleaning is a small part of it. Yes, we need to do it. Yes, we need to make time for it. But if Tuesday gets out of hand and you don't get it done on Tuesday, and Wednesday you're exhausted mentally and physically because of an ailment, then just breathe and kind of prioritize. Okay, when I feel better, what's the most important thing? And maybe the most important thing isn't the cobwebs. Maybe the most important thing, is to clean the shower. And if that's where you are, then clean your shower, check that box that you did zone cleaning that day, and move on and let it go. The biggest, most important thing is to just love yourself and accept that not a single one of us is perfect. I love Fly Lady. You guys know that I do. But if you've ever watched her for even 2 seconds, she's not perfect. Her room is sometimes a mess. She's got a background now that's hiding some stuff. But I believe that to be a well rounded and balanced mom, you pick your battles, you learn when to give and when to take. And if that means not fixing your hair one day because you want to go get a coffee on your way out the door, do it. Embrace the moments. So when we talk about zone cleaning, because I know Mama Jessie J is saying that that's where she gets stuck for sure. The daily housework is my priority. The zone cleaning is like hashtag goals. And what I try to do is at least one day in my week, if I haven't done some zone cleaning leading up to it, then I'll do a little bit longer session. So maybe instead of a 15-minute zone cleaning on Wednesday, if I haven't got anything else done for zone cleaning, then Wednesday I might do a 30. But I never check every box on my list. It just never does happen. I start, I check as many as I can in that time, and I just stop. And the next time that I come on, and the next time I'm ready to zone clean, I pick up where I left off. Now, when it comes to decluttering, I think Dana King White has probably the best idea. When I read her book, she says you start in the area that's seen the most and you declutter it. And then every time you get ready to declutter again, you go back to that place, look around, and make sure it's good. And if there's any clutter that's trying to sneak back in, take care of it. And so you're constantly decluttering these same areas. And as they get cleaned up and they're manageable, then you move to the next area. So, for example, coming into my house through the front door, my dining room is probably the first room that I have to make sure looks good. So when I'm going to start decluttering, the first place I look is I take a scan of my dining room. Does it appear to be nice and tidy? Does it appear to be in a pretty good situation? I don't have piles of boxes anywhere. I don't have books laying out anywhere. If those things all are true, it looks pretty good, then I'm going to move to the next room that people would see if they walked into my house, which would either be my kitchen or my living room. And again, does it have piles anywhere? If it has piles, I need to deal with those piles. If both of those rooms are looking pretty good, I don't see obvious clutter anywhere, then I can move on to the next room, which maybe is my bedroom or a bathroom. And so you just start making that progression through your house. And eventually, as you declutter for a while, because none of this happens overnight, but eventually you'll start to hit closets that need it really bad. But closets aren't the priority. The priority is to start in the places that you would be ashamed if someone showed up at your house. So start at the front door and move your way through it. And then every time you have those chances to zone clean and to declutter, start there and double check yourself. And I think that that's a really good way to kind of focus on things, instead of trying to tackle the entire thing. And then you get the dining room is perfect, but the rest of the house is shambles. Well, while you're working in the living room, the dining room becomes a shambles. Then you've just wasted time. So every month or every 2 months, when I decide to restart decluttering, I go back to that first room. I take care of any small clutter that's starting to come back in. Raise your hands if you have clutter that likes to just sneak back in, because I think that that is definitely something that we have to be on the alert for. And clutter is just like mail that we haven't gone through that just gets piled up on the counter. Maybe one or two backpacks that someone just got lazy and didn't put away, or a pair of boots by the door. Like, those are the things that I'm fighting every single day. I have to fight for things to be orderly. And I know that it's it's a fight, but it's not something that I need to get upset about. It's something that I need to just know that it's part of being a mom, and it's part of being a wife. And so I pick my battles. Now, if it's disgusting and it's been sitting there and I've asked and asked and asked and they're still not helping, then maybe I'm going to have a little bit more of a conversation. But I really don't want cleaning to be an issue in our house. I want our house to be a haven and us to love each other and enjoy it. So I don't fuss too much about it unless I'm at my wit's end. And then I'm like, okay, hold the phone. This sink has got to be taken care of. I did not leave it this way. So when I come home, I don't expect it to be this way. And that's kind of one of my red letter things. Like, if I walk in and the kitchen smells to high heaven, the trash is overflowing, the sink is full of dishes, that is a hard stop for me. I cannot deal with all of that. So, one of the other questions that I had on one of my other posts was, how do you get all the zone cleaning done? And like I said, you don't finish it. You don't get all the way through it, but you start with, I do the zones based on the Fly Lady weekly schedule. But if we're in the master bedroom and my master bedroom isn't all that messed up right now, then maybe I'll take that time and give it to something else, like the garage, or whatever. Lee in our Facebook group said that she really wants us to do a session about adding the yard as a zone. I think that would be such an amazing thing, because as we're getting into spring and summer, we do have yard work. And yard work doesn't care what zone you're in. You got to mow every single week. You've got to make sure you're pulling weeds or gardening or whatever. And so if you've got those things, then I say let's add that into our zones as part of at least the seasonal time, part of your zone cleaning. And if you saw that video that I did on how to modify the Fly Lady Plus app, you can add things to it. So maybe in zone 1, when it's your front entry and your dining room, you could add mowing the yard to that. You could add, weeding the yard. And that would be something that's on there. You could also just add it to your weekly home blessing hour. If you've got to do something every single week, I don't know that I would put it on Monday, because my Mondays are a hot mess already. But I find that like Tuesday, plan and play day, I could probably do an extra something that day, because planning the menu, as much as I don't like to do it, it doesn't take a lot of extra time. I have built up my routine things that we like to eat. I know how often we eat them. And so I could do that pretty easily. But, Aaron Day's already full, Ollie days are full. So I only have 1 or 2 days that I could add in yard work. I don't do anything on the weekends. I flat out weekends, I make my bed, and that's pretty much it. So I am the rebel, because I am not going to do laundry on the weekends. I'm not going to commit to cleaning my house on the weekends. My weekends are 100% for relaxing and enjoying family time. So I completely do that. But yeah, Marie said that, a basement. If you have a basement, you're going to need to add, especially if it's a finished basement, add it into the appropriate zone. If you want to make it its own zone, go ahead and do that. Or maybe, like for me, I don't clean the kids' rooms anymore. They're, 16 and up. So I don't have to go in there and clean. But I do have a spare bedroom that I do. I do have kind of an office situation in there that can easily get out of hand, as I have lighting and microphones and all the things that I use every single week. I have to keep that going. But definitely, I think I do not have the paid version of the Fly Lady app. I think Ollie has my phone. I have Fly Lady Plus, which is the free version. And basically, it's just the list of all the different activities for zone cleaning, home blessing hour, and the daily focus, which I find to be really helpful, because if I'm on the fly and I don't want to go looking for my binder, I can just pull my phone out because my phone stays like in my back pocket 99% of the time. And usually I'm listening to something. So I can check things off there. And I like it so much for tracking my zone cleaning because, like I said, if I have done some things and I'm like running around the house, I may not have my pen with me. I may not have my binder with me. And so I do kind of use both. Um, let's see. Let me look at some of these messages. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure that you're leaving them. Hey, Kelly, so glad that you joined in. Ginger, I'm hearing that KetoCon was fun, but you are exhausted. Let's see. No makeup and wild hair, so I'm a mess today for sure. So Joanne, you were saying that you had that app and you were having trouble with it. It wouldn't let you save your changes. Email me. My email address is in the description of the channel. Email me, and I will be more than happy to like do a Zoom call with you one-on-one so I can see what yours is doing to try and help you work through that, because I have edited, I think, everything that you could possibly edit and customized it, and it's working really well for me now that I've gone through and spent the time. But yeah, Joanne, just send me a message because that can be really frustrating. And when I was first trying to find, a lot of people said they had a timer. I tore that app up looking for this timer, and I do not have it. And so I contacted some people, and they said that the older version did, but the newer version doesn't. And so that may be something that's going on. We may need to update your version or something, but send me a message, okay? If you don't want to do email, you can send me a message through Facebook or through Instagram. Those are going to be very quick, and I can message you back and forth, and we can see if we can figure it out for you, okay? Let's see, Ginger. Decluttering is the first step. Absolutely. You can't clean clutter. It makes life a lot easier the less junk you have sitting around. Some of my rooms are really well decluttered, and I don't have that much going on. But then I've got a few rooms that I don't feel like they're mine to declutter, like my daughter's room. It's very cluttered. We cleaned it and decluttered it when we redid her room, and it was really manageable, but we never got in her closet. And she's got a lot of small children's things in there. And I think that there's emotional things that her mom doesn't want us to get rid of, and she's afraid to get rid of. And I'm not trying to say get rid of things. I'm just saying, like, we could box it up and organize things better so that we can make use of the space. If y'all saw that decluttering video of that spare bedroom closet, that's like my son and the spare bedroom combined, we found that probably 90% of the things that were in there, no one even wanted. No one knew we had it. We had 2 boxes of like old Christmas bags, 2 full boxes. And I was just like, I've lived here 3 years and no one's ever even opened these boxes. So clearly we're not using them. They're taking up all this space. So, we try to go through and just clean out what we can, but I'm never going to declutter someone else's things. So I just do what I can. Okay, don't hit with this. I've got my grandbaby, as y'all know. So I'm at my daughter's. He has got one of my camera stands, and so I'm just making sure he's not like hitting the dogs with them. They're here. Say hi to the puppies. We are very casual today. Y'all are getting me real and true. All right. Let's see. So the next thing on getting unstuck is to be realistic. So look at your time, because we need to make a plan for when it's going to fit in with what you have going on. And so if you are working from home like my daughter does, and you've got a little one here, and you've got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of moving parts, then you may not have an hour on Mondays that you can dedicate to a weekly home blessing hour. And if that's the case, when can you get these little tasks done? So if you need to break it into, like, on Mondays, I'm going to vacuum, and on Tuesdays, I'm going to dust, or maybe you should do it backwards, right? But, breaking it into smaller parts, that's fine. But really try to make whatever plan you want to do, make it fit. And that's why I think mamas need a plan. I think that it's really important to have a plan because then you are dedicating to do some things. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm still like a kid. I like a gold star and a check beside of things because it just shows that I'm getting stuff done, that I'm a work in progress, yes, but I'm making progress, which is the biggest thing. I want to see that there's really something going on. So nothing makes me happier than to be able to check some things off my list. I usually over plan, but I've gotten really good at knowing that I'm not going to get everything done. But if I have an extra 5 minutes, then I might get this done. And so go ahead and make a list. Thank you. If you like a planner, like a paper planner, that is an excellent way to track things because you can like copy and paste a lot of things. You can get stickers that already have all the things wrote on them, like vacuum, dust, and stuff, and save time like that. I use my planner as a journal as well. So I also write at the end of the day kind of my emotions, how I felt, what I feel like I got done, what I could have done better. I just kind of pour my heart into it. And it's something that helps me mentally and physically get up and get going and track. But if you are not a paper person, whatever, if you like the Fly Lady Plus app, set it up, do it. If you prefer just the scheduler on your phone, do it. But block schedule at least 15 minutes to focus on just tidying up and doing a few things around the house. So, bye, Ginger. Thank you so much for tuning in while you could. Love you, and I hope to talk to you soon. I think if you set aside 15 minutes to start off, so 15 minutes could be 15 minutes right before bed, closing your kitchen and getting your kitchen set. That's a really good use of 15 minutes because when you wake up the next day, you're going to feel better about life just because you're not waking up to a mess in your kitchen, right? When you go in there to make breakfast or to make coffee, it does feel good to have a clean, shiny sink and nothing out on the counters. So I love that 15 minutes. I'm so sorry this is loud, but he is throwing some things and having the best time. So this is real life. The other thing is, if you are doing that closing down at night and you have another 15 minutes, then think about what's driving you the most crazy. Where is it? What is the one thing that you need to get done? Is it the laundry? If you need to deep dive on laundry, then during your lunch break, put a load of laundry in. If you can't do it in the morning, work within your time schedule and get things done. And as it becomes a habit, you're going to feel better about it. But having that list and tracking it, it's going to remind you that, hey, I put laundry in. Did I finish it? No, let me go get it out of the dryer now and fold it. And it's fine. I watch TV and fold my laundry all the time because I usually forget it and it sits for a while before I remember it. But I put it in my planner as a way to remind myself. And throughout the day, I'll pick my planner up to look to see, okay, how am I doing? And I'll check things off. It's always a good idea to do that. Now, when you're overwhelmed with the decluttering, remember that you didn't get here in a day. You're not going to get it gone in a day. And I think the biggest mistake is to just start making big piles of things that you're going to have to deal with later. So Dana K. White does such a good job of saying, like, take something that's easy to deal with and deal with it. Don't start with grandma's quilt. That's an emotional thing. Don't start with your favorite things and you got to cut it in half. Start with, why in the world have I held on to, the light bill from 2008? It's clearly something that I don't need to keep anymore. I can shred this, So go through and get rid of things that are easy with the amount of time you have. And when I'm saying shred it, like take it immediately. Don't put it in a stack to be shredded. Like take it, go do it. Number one, we all have the best of intentions. Like, I don't want to walk up and down the stairs 15 times. I understand that. Trust me, I do. But when you make a stack, then you got to carry a heavy load up and down the stairs. You got to have the time to do it. It's like procrastination immediately. As soon as you picked it up, you put it back down. That's not what we're trying to do. So I think she has the right idea. I think starting, in an area that you really want to get cleaned off, maybe it's your dining room table, start there. put things back. If you have, a hammer on your dining room table like I did the other day, go put it with the tools. Like that's an easy thing to do. Go put it with the tools. And that way the next time that you're looking for the hammer, it makes sense that you're going to go where the hammer belongs. You're not going to go to the dining room table looking for a hammer, so pick up things that that clearly don't belong and put them where they need to go, because it's gonna make motion. It's gonna start something, kinetic energy. Once you start something in motion, it keeps going for a while. So getting started, even if you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of energy, you get filled up with the fact that you can start to see the table, and that gets you excited to do just a little bit more. So when you're overwhelmed, start with something that's kind of easy, simple. Don't try to reinvent the wheel with this new cleaning system and 50,000 times of baskets that's going to make it look like Pinterest. Like, the reality is, if we were those people, we wouldn't have a dining room table that looks like this, right? I don't think very many people on earth are those people. I think that the best that we can do is just work with what we've got to start with. And once things are decluttered and once things are somewhat organized, if you want to level up and make it super pretty, that's perfectly fine. But don't start with a bunch of bins and not have a plan for it. You got to know how much you have. You got to know how much space you have. You've got to know all of this before you can do that. So start with one foot in front of the other and do that. Now, zone cleaning. If you want to zone clean according to Fly Lady, do it. But if you want to just tackle it one room at a time and deep clean one room at a time, do that. If you want to deep clean one task at a time, I sometimes will do that. I'm telling you, I'm such a rebel. But if I've got my duster on the long handle to get the cobwebs out of my living room, it takes about 3 seconds longer to go around and hit the cobwebs out of the dining room, the entry, the kitchen. Like, while I've got it out, I can just do all of it and then it's done. I will do that and I'll mark my box off of all those zones because I got it all done. And that might be the only thing I get done today, but that's okay. So if you want to do it that way, do it. I want you to find a plan that works for you. Stop trying to be a square peg in a round hole. Like, just make it work and don't worry about what anybody else thinks. This is your life. It's your house. This is your plan. Let's make it work. All right, let's look and see if there's any other questions in the comments, because really this live chat was just to start the conversation and just to say, hey, I've been missing you guys. Thank you so much for your prayers. Woke up Saturday morning and my cat had passed away during the night, sleeping on me. So I'm very emotional about it. I'm not a cat person, but this cat just came in and took over and made me love him. And it's very hard to lose him so quickly. But in that, it's been emotional. My mom's been going through some really tough stuff. And so that's been emotional. And so this week I'm tired. Like, I'm really tired, but I'm proud of myself because on Monday I did some deep cleaning and it was therapy. Like, it was therapy. I didn't think about things because my heart was broken and I couldn't think. I couldn't write a script for a video. I couldn't plan anything. I was going to have all kinds of great things for this chat. This week I couldn't. You're getting me raw. I just didn't have the mental capacity to make a plan. So I fell back on what I already had built, which is the systems and the routines to take care of things. And so when life throws you these emergencies, that's when you're going to truly feel the comfort out of your routines. And so I got up and I did my morning routine and I grabbed some Tide and some hot water and I started scrubbing walls, and I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed, and it felt so good. And at the end of the day, I was physically exhausted. I've got muscles that are sore in my arms that I didn't even know I had, but I feel like I got something done and I let go of some baggage that was on my heart through physical work. Sometimes you just got to go outside and pull weeds. When you're having a day, just go pull weeds, because there's nothing like the endorphins that come from from seeing something finished and working out your frustrations. So thank you, Erin. I truly appreciate that. Mama Jessie, Mary, Debbie, truly, like I said, so blessed because I got to have that little munchkin for a few months and he made such an impact on us. I can't believe that I got upset over a cat. I know you cat people will think I'm crazy. I've never cared for cats at all, but this cat, God made him for me. He did. And I'm just so happy that I could have been there and loved him like I did for the amount of time that I got to have him. So I'm not going to cry. We're good. But, anyways, I'm at my daughter's today. It was my anniversary Tuesday, and I moved my mom into a new place Tuesday. So it's been quite the week. So we are going to head out of town tonight. I don't know what we're doing. Don't care. I know it's a business / we're taking the extra time to have a good weekend. So it is a business trip, but I know we'll at least get one night out together, and that's fine because just getting out of the house for the weekend, breathing and enjoying my husband for our anniversary is going to be a huge blessing. But I checked in, I looked at the house last night when I got home from my mom's, and other than just like 4 or 5 glasses in the sink, the family have stepped up and they're taking care of things when I'm not around. And that's all that you can hope for, is that they see the example that you set. They know your routines, they know your rules, and they start to eventually help out a little bit. It's not perfect, but it's happening. And so, anyways, did y'all see the video? I think it came out Tuesday with Cleaning with Ollie. I shot part of that here and I shot part of that at my house, but he is 1.5. And I think it's just brilliant that we start showing them to clean and that cleaning is not a bad thing. And I just had the most fun editing that video because I had shot some of those scenes, just on the fly with my cell phone one day when he was helping and being such a sport. And I was like, I'm going to make a video about this. This is amazing. And I did not do that with my kids. Lord, I wish I had, but I hadn't even thought about it. When I was a young mom, I was barely surviving. I didn't know what I didn't know. And now that he's here, I feel so much wiser. Don't know when that came, but I feel so much more accomplished and just in a better position to pour into him. And so that's what I do when I'm here. I'm watching him, and my daughter is working, and we made the bed this morning, and we just had a fun playing with the sheets and the pillows and just had fun making the bed, and the bed's made. And he never thought it was bad or not fun. And it was just a good time. So make sure that if you've got littles around you, grandkids, babies, whatever, don't hide the cleaning from them. Get them in there. Let them help you. Get in the yard. Do yard work with them. They love that stuff. Spray them with the hose. They'll love washing the car forever if they get to play while they're doing it, right? So, question for you guys. When we're talking about zone cleaning, is it trying to fit it in that's the hardest part? Because I feel like that's the hang up for me, is just like always make an excuse not to do it. Or is it not knowing what zone you're in? Like, what is the part that makes zone cleaning so hard? Because it's not that any of the tasks are that hard. It's just, I don't know. For me, I excuse him. I just excuse them, like, well, I got my morning routine done, and then I'll skip it. So for the last 2 weeks, I'm really trying to be more diligent about doing it. And a lot of times I will do it before lunch, because I feel like if I plan to do it after lunch, I don't usually get it done. Then it's time to cook dinner and it's too late. So now I'm trying to do it at the tail end of my morning routine, and I'm just trying to get 1 or 2 things done. I'm not even like timing myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and take care of this really quickly. So let me know what the holdup is, where the breakdown is with the zone cleaning, because I think that we're so busy running the hamster wheel that it's just one extra weight. Yeah. Where did you get this? Do you ever wonder where kids get things? Because he can't possibly get into anything. I'm going to take y'all with me. Let's go see what he's gotten into. You're kidding? The real live. Ah, I see what he did. Get out of here, you silly thing. He pushed open a door he doesn't need to be in. All right. All right. So, when we're talking about being overwhelmed, the other things that you can do is be realistic with your expectations. If you are not naturally a perfectly clean person, and no offense, I'm not. I'm really not a naturally clean person. I'm very ADHD. And I go with the flow. If we're having a good time, I'm going to have a good time. If I feel like watching a TV show while I clean because I know that's the only way that I can get something done, then that's what I do. So be realistic with who you are. So I was watching The Clutterbug. Do you guys know who that is? Because I love her. So Cass from The Clutterbug has the 4 different organizing styles, and I think that's completely spot on. She's fabulous. And when I realized that I am most definitely a combo of 2 of them, and that there are other people like me, right? That I need things to be at least in a basket. And in the basket, I need it to be kind of organized. I would just absolutely have a meltdown if all of my craft supplies were displayed. That would be overwhelming for me. You know, when she showed like a garage that had every tool on the shelf and everything is color coded and you could see every single thing, my anxiety went through the roof. I was just like, oh my gosh. So I want things to be in drawers and in bins, tucked away, and only things that I use like all the time. Those things can be out, but they can be contained in some way. So yeah, Mama Jessie, me and you, we're like soul sisters. But I like things to be at least in a small basket or grouped on a tray or something like that. It just helps my brain go, oh, there's a place for it. Put it in its place. Even if it's still out and in a display, it's not thrown around. So at the end of the day, when I go into my living room to shut down my living room, I've noticed that my 5-minute room rescue, it works really well for me because I have a basket. I throw any toys that happen to be out, they go in this basket. So I don't organize it, just toys, basket, done, right? I have a basket for my throws. And basically my rule is all the edges has to be in the basket. It doesn't have to be folded neatly. Sometimes I'll fold it, sometimes I won't. But as long as all the edges are in there and it's not like hanging out and looking terrible, I'm good. I don't care. Just get it in the basket. But when it comes to like stacks, the stacks have to be neat. The stacks can't be like paper sticking out the edges and stuff. So I'm very anal when it comes to those kinds of things. I have to have my stacks of paper, and y'all know I'm a paper girl, so I always have paper and stuff. So when I have stacks, they have to be neat and tidy. But when I have baskets, as long as it's contained, I'm good. So I've noticed that knowing that has helped me with being realistic on what my house is actually going to look like. Because up until that point, I wanted the home edit, rainbow color coordinated everything. But the reality is, I'm never going to take enough time to go through and do all of those things. I kind of start off really like that, but life happens, and my refrigerator is never going to look like that. It's just not. So knowing that it's okay to just be like, look, that's not who I am. So why am I fighting it? That has been such a blessing. And I think that is why YouTube is such a powerful tool, because it really allows us to meet these people and to learn from these people who have such instincts and such good knowledge on things. And so if you haven't followed Cass, do go follow her and be sure to tell her that I sent you, because I am a huge fan. And the thing about it is, that's how we can do our cleaning, is that, Dana K. White has one laundry day. She does all of her laundry on one laundry day, and that's what works for her. I can't. That's very overwhelming for me, because I want it to be done and put away or I'm not going to do it, because I've done the one laundry day thing. And by the end of the day, my one laundry day means I have one big, huge mass of clean clothes that never get folded. And that's worse for me than to have the dirty clothes in the hamper, to have the clean clothes laying on the couch. I can't stand it. So for me, doing one load start to finish, it's been therapeutic. It's been monotonous, yes, but it works for me. And there are days that I don't get it done. Like today, I'm not even home. So I'm not doing a load of laundry today. That means that the next time I'm home, it's going to be a little bit much. So I might have to do two to catch up. But it, I know where I am. I know who I am. I'm not a once a week kind of girl. I'm a somewhat of a daily kind of girl. Usually I do laundry Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I don't load any on Saturday or Sunday. But I'm about to go out of town for the weekend. I was gone yesterday and the day before. So technically, I've not been in my home since Monday, except to sleep last night. So I've got probably a lot of laundry. So next week, every single day, I'm going to have to do at least two loads to catch up. And I'm okay with that. But I can't just do it all at once. That wouldn't work for me. So I think that realistic expectation of who you are, come to, are you a spot sweeper? Are you a move everything and sweep every day kind of sweeper? When you know who you are, it makes life so much easier, because then you know what you need to do. Oh, he's not happy with me. Y'all, isn't he the cutest thing? He's still in his little PJs. I know. I love that little munchkin. Look at that sweetie pie. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all don't care. Anyways, figuring out who you are and what works for you. And then when you find what works for you, don't worry about if it doesn't work for everybody. That's the one complaint that I have over all these systems. It's not a one size fits all kind of thing. Like, figure it out, move it, do it. If you can't go to the grocery store on Thursday, change it. It's fine. I think the plan is good because she kind of puts it in your mind you should be doing certain things on certain days. But I think that you need to make it your own. You need to make it work. However, you need to make it work. And so I give you permission to make changes to Fly Lady. I give you permission to combine Fly Lady with Clean Mama. I give you commission. Like I've been looking and trying out the organized mom method, and there's parts of that I love. So you're going to probably see that I'm going to be blending all of it together, because there's no one right plan. There just isn't. I don't care who you are. There's one that's more right for you than others, but it's still going to need to be tweaking. Fly Lady was my 80% right plan. Fly Lady taught me how to be a grown-up. Fly Lady taught me about routines when no one else could teach me that. I wasn't ready to hear it when I was younger, and I just love that she kind of laid it out. Do I subscribe to everything? No. Do I think that some of it is out of date? Yeah, I do. But do I think that she still has the right idea? I do. I really do. I think that it's a big foundation that will set you up for the best success, especially if you're a little bit of a messy mama, if you have a little bit of a crazy life. I think that will start you, but you got to get the foundation set first. Having specific times or specific days to really power through something, that works too. So as a working mom, if you know that, Wednesday is a little bit better for you to like do your home blessing hour, then do it. Wednesday, set it. That's your day. You're going to do it. If you're working and Saturday's the only day that you have, power through it. Do it. I like to do a little bit all through the week, so I don't have as much to do on Saturday. But you have to remember, I'm in a different season of life now. I'm home as I can be. Like, I haven't been home this week, but I worked in a hospital with a 3-hour commute for years. So I completely understand the struggles of trying to fit in cleaning and housework and being a working mom. It's not easy. I leaned on having my kids do laundry. It wasn't the best, but they could at least get it started. I leaned on having them take trash out and do the basic chores when I wasn't home, because I had to. As a single working mom, kids have to grow up and help. They just do. So you got to train them. You got to train people to help you do the best you can. And then I also had to let go of that perfectionism. It wasn't going to be perfect. The best that I could do is try to make my bed every day, to try to stay on top of laundry as much as I could. But there were times and seasons it just didn't work. If it snowed and I had to get out of the house early to make sure I got to work on time with the snow, then that meant the bed didn't get made. It's a give, it's a take. And as a stay-at-home mom, I get to sleep a little bit in. I get up at 6:30 or 7 now instead of 5. That's a blessing. It's a huge blessing. But do I get more done in the day? Probably not, because I can slow down my pace a little bit. I can go to lunch with my husband a little bit. I can help my daughter take care of the baby when she needs me to come over and take care of him. Like I give my time away for other things now, but I'm also able to kind of control how much time I have to be present for the ones I love. YouTube has been a blessing because I literally didn't know how to do any of this until I found YouTube. I remember being at home with littles and having no clue where to even start. As an only child, single parent, I never saw how to be a stay-at-home mom. I never learned how to plan play dates and play times and manage laundry and do all these things. We have so many resources for us now. And I think having the community of women who inspire and encourage and motivate, this is what we need. We need to talk openly about, hey, it's been a craptastic week and I've been all over the place, but I'm still getting it done the best that I can. But you know what? I'm going to throw my stuff in a bag and I'm going to head out of town again for my husband. And when I get back next Monday, I'm going to be hardcore cleaning to catch up, but it's going to be okay because we're at a place where that's where the most important thing is to enjoy these moments. We're not promised tomorrow, and that has hit. Sorry, I'm still emotional over Kiwi, but I'm not promised tomorrow. I need to love on my friends and my family and my home to the best of my ability every day and not worry about it. So that is my parting wisdom for you, is starting today, wherever you are, whatever the situation, just focus on what is the one thing that I could do right now today to move the needle, to make life easier for me and my family, so that when they get home from school and they get home from work, we can just enjoy the moment. What are the things that I can do while they're gone so that when they get home, we can be in the right headspace and we can really, truly just soak each other up, because we're not promised tomorrow. And so that is like the whole thing. That is the whole thing. That is the meaning of life. Oh, Judy, thank you so much. I love cleaning videos. I have found such amazing people on YouTube that I follow. I don't follow people that I don't think bring the right love and care and attention to people. I used to follow a lot of people, and now I see that they're just pushing me to buy things from Amazon, and it drives me crazy. There's not a problem with that. I link everything in the description too. If you want to shop, shop. But I am not telling you need to go and buy the latest and greatest cleaning things. But if I follow someone and their heart is to love on me and to help me through something, or to tell me something I didn't know, and I know that they're coming from a really good place, I mean, they are my friends instantly. And I think that that is just the most amazing thing. So that is what I'm telling you, is find people, surround yourself with people, neighbors, friends, family, YouTube friends, Facebook friends, whatever the case may be. Lean on them, love them, and just learn from each other, because I'm telling you, Ginger just had to leave, but Ginger inspires me so much. And I've met her in our Facebook group during the Baby Step Challenge in January. This lady, I don't know, I'm not going to give her age. She is still getting it. She is still cleaning and ironing and doing things. Yes, we're still alive. She is getting things done, and she still after all this time doing Fly Lady, all these years, she still joins a baby step challenge because you're never too old. You're never too knowledgeable to learn something new. Like there's always more that you can be doing, and she is doing it because she just loves to take care of her family. And so that's the heart that she has, and I have enjoyed her friendship so much. If you guys are not in our Facebook group, it is really an amazing group. I started it just specifically to support anybody that needs that little bit of like, yay, good job. So we post pictures of before and afters. I put a lot of stuff up about the grandbaby. Y'all know I'm an open book. So if you have a question or comment, I will call you. I talked to another girl, Pam, while I was driving to my mom's the other day. Sadly, we had terrible connection, but just talking about where she was and the struggle she was having and how good things were going with the zone cleaning now that she's kind of gotten through the baby steps. And so if you need some one-on-one, if you need some group therapy, we're there. Like we're here. I'm not an influencer. I'm a mom with a camera, and I just bring y'all along for the ride because I really wish when I was the 21 Terry that I had somebody to do that. So anyways, I really appreciate you guys joining me. This was very much an on the fly type of situation because my week did go sideways and I am not at home, but I'm so thrilled that I was able to reconnect with you guys because you mean the world to me. Y'all are some of my closest connections. As you move, as you get older, I'm babysitting and puppy sitting. So we've got kids and puppies and toys. If you're new, there's the grandbaby. Hi, Ollie. Say hi. Yay. So, yeah, totally live, totally real. He's trying to see you again. He likes to see himself. So, there you go. We've made the bed together so far today, and we'll pick up some toys here in a little bit. It's time for me to make some lunch. So, I'm going to probably need to shut this down. Any last minute thoughts, concerns that you would like to talk about before we shut things down? Give me some wisdom, for this season of life. Drop it in the comments because I know that we can learn from each other. And no, I did not do all the bells and whistles that I normally do. There were no slides for this live. I didn't pop up any questions and comments. This 100% is us just having a chat. This is just mom life. So like it. And be sure to tune in. I will schedule another one, hopefully in about 2 weeks. That'll be a little bit better than this one. But I'm excited about some of the things that I've got coming up. I've made a really silly video that I'm editing now. I am dressed up in the craziest little get up, doing some stuff around the house as a funny take on a serious topic, which is about our health. And so I'm hoping that that's received well because it's not meant to be judgy. It's meant to be real because I know that I struggle with health issues and, I've had family members who are struggling. And so I just tried to make something that's just got a little truth to it and a little fun to it. Judy says, when you fall off the wagon, where do you suggest the starting point, routines, kitchen, etc.? Judy, what I do is, and I have fallen off the wagon recently, I always start off with cleaning out my sink and getting those dishes in the dishwasher because that feels very overwhelming to me. And then I make my bed. Those are the two things that must be done. And then I will sit down and kind of take a minute, drink my water and breathe and think, what other thing is bringing me anxiety? Where is the negative energy coming from? Because usually there's something when I have fallen off the wagon that I'm feeling guilt over or I'm feeling overwhelmed by. And so when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I try to identify what it is. And sometimes it can be the laundry. Sometimes it can just be there's a lot of stuff out of place and I just need to tidy really quickly. And so if you fall off the wagon and you need to pick back up, get a priority list going of the number one thing that's driving me the most crazy. I need to take care of that. And once that is taken care of, then I need to focus on this. Don't try to do it all at once. If you need to do it in small chunks, do it in small chunks. But you're going to feel better because you're going to start to see progress, and that's going to help you keep up. But I always, for me, the sink, dealing with those dishes, and then having my bed made, even like when I left today, there's some clothes in the floor my husband dropped in the floor, but he was still in bed. So I didn't clean it up, but I made my side of the bed. I got up, I got myself ready, and I hit the road to be here early. I mean, I know that I did everything I could to leave my house in the best shape that I could, and I hit the road. So if you're doing that, I would say look around, take inventory of where you are and what's driving you crazy. If it's somebody else's stuff driving you crazy, my suggestion is, like, when it's my daughter's stuff or my husband's stuff, I take my daughter's stuff, I open her door, I put it in a basket inside of her door, and then I shut her door. What she does with it from there is completely on her, but it's out of my way. I have long ago given up on repeating myself over and over and over and losing my temper. It's too stressful for me to like lay down ultimatums and to yell and scream and to do all these things. I will ask, and usually the response is, "Oh, I'll get it when I get home." Okay. When she gets home and it happens that she has forgotten, which is very common, then the next time that I go past that item, I put it in a basket and I take it. And when I go up to her room, I just put it inside of her room. I will ask. Sometimes she does it right away. My husband is very busy, so I don't do that so much with him. I'll just pick his things up and I'll bring it and I'll try to put it away. But if it's like business things that are scattered around the house, I will just be like, "Where would you like me to put it? My dining room needs to be cleaned off. Where would you like me to put your things?" And usually that's enough to get them started to at least clear the clutter back out off of the places. I try to prioritize my dining room, my living room, my kitchen. Those areas don't have to be perfect. My husband is starting a business from home. And so when we're at home and he's got his equipment out on the table and he's taking meetings and calls and stuff, I get overwhelmed because that's invading into my space. But he is starting a business. It is a temporary thing until we get into an office. So I am just learning to breathe and let it go and know that there's a greater good here and that we just have to like go from there. But yeah, start with a plan. What's the number one thing that's driving you crazy? What's number two? I would give myself like 2 or 3 like hot topic items that you just, if I have to live with this one more day and deal with those things. And that's the exact thing that I tell my daughter, who is pregnant with our second grandbaby and working from home, and she has, a toddler at home. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. So just think about what's the one thing. And if the one thing is the number of toys that are everywhere, take half the toys and put them in a box in the garage. We don't have to have everything out, but we do have to have some things out. All right. Thank you, Jillian. I really like this too. Next time, though, I would like to have some makeup on. That would be a blessing for me. Anyways, I'm shutting it down. Y'all make sure you like this and, join in the next one. Let's just plan 2 weeks from today. We'll do this again about 10 o'clock, and I will be a little bit more prepared, but I still want it to be a very open conversation, okay? Until then, let me do a really quick prayer. Y'all know I always try to pray at the end. So, Father God, thank you for this time, for this conversation, for these ladies. Thank you for the hearts that we have to love our families and to serve you. Father, I just give you all of our stress, our fear, and anxiety. I pray that you will just fill us with the Spirit and just give us the knowledge that we are enough, that we have everything that we need, and that we are truly the ones that hold the family together. Father, thank you. And I I praise your name for letting me be a mom, giving me these babies to love on, giving me these pets, these grandbabies, the husband. Like, thank you for these blessings. As much as they drive us crazy, those moments, those quiet moments are the ones that make this entire life worth living. I ask that you would just be with us as we go forward through our day and just help us to come back again and love on each other in the near future. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys. Bye. Love y'all.